what's going on? Go video. So we're gonna do a little talk about things that can just happen, like natural causes. Prepare yourself through the video. There might be a couple choice words through the whole video, and I'm sure you can understand the frustration through the whole thing. So here's the clips. My unit is flooding. It's 2 inches over the panhandle here, and both units are flooding. 4 inches of rain right there. There's proof right there that there is actual water inside my unit. I'm about to open the unit. Alright, go video. Whole unit is flooded. All water in it. Complete water inside the whole unit. Look at. There's an inch of water inside the unit. This is fucking ridiculous. Inch of water inside the unit. Everything's in totes, but there's some stuff that's on the ground here. Like, I got this motor on the ground. I mean, you know, like, not everything is, like, this thing shouldn't take on 3 inches of water. It just shouldn't. There's no reason why this has water in it. Should be no reason why. And this next unit's gonna be even freaking worse. This next unit's gonna be even worse. Watch. And I just left here 2 minutes ago. Wow, this one got slightly lucky. Slightly lucky because they have this little Jersey barrier right here, but my unit is over here. The more expensive unit is totally flooded. Look at this drain. Can't even keep up. That drain cannot keep up with this water here. Look at it all slowly flowing out. Someone's paying for this. Like, I got TVs here. I got electronics. All water damage. Look at that one right there. Brand new friggin' recorder. Water damage. Vintage radio. Water damage. This motor, water damage. Like, look at how much water. There's 2 inches of water in here. Fucking pissed. Alright. Let's make this video kind of quick. Nightmare. Alright, so here we go. See a problem with this unit? Anyone see a problem with this unit? Come on back here. Let's take a look. I know you guys can't see everything back here, but I know you guys can maybe hear something back here. What do we hear back here? An inch of water? Yeah, that's what we hear back there. Inch of water in the storage unit. What do we have here? A rack of electronics? Oh, all electronics right there? Totally ruined? Oh, great. Yeah, so I come here and there's 4 inches of water in this unit. Now, look at the design of this. This drain blows. It doesn't keep up with the water. I have a Jersey barrier in front of this unit right here, okay? Look at the condensation. Only a little, right on the lip. It protected it. Great. Let's go in the back of the unit. Let's go in the back of the unit. Tell me what you hear in the back of this unit. Since you can't see anything, what do you hear? Oh, what's that? Water in the unit? Really? Why is there water in the storage unit? Because you have a flood. Alright, so here's the problem. This drain is way too shallow. Look at that. Look at this drain. It goes down about 16 inches into a 10-inch pipe. That's not big enough. All right. You need a 2-foot pipe, 2 feet wide. That's a proper drain. All right. I do construction. I know what a proper drain is. All right. First off, I was about to unload about, I don't know, $3,000 worth of inventory into this unit. And what I was going to do was, you know what I was going to do? I was going to put it right on the floor. All right. So that I got really lucky right there. So we have $3,000 worth of good inventory in the vehicle. The rest of the inventory is totally trashed. Yeah, I have some stuff up in the air, but the longer I keep any of this stuff in here is just the more moisture on everything. Like, look at, I got moisture in my lathe box. Like, that's friggin' ruined. Anything on the ground is ruined. Any tote that has a hole in it is ruined. I'm kind of lucky that I have some nice new totes, but this radio's ruined. This Bose radio's ruined. All these speakers are ruined. Anything on the bottom 2 sections is probably ruined. All this junk right here is ruined. My number 1 copper, that's almost going to turn into number 2 if it stays in here any longer. I have all this paper up here. It's just getting moisture on it now. I have a $1,000 stereo unit right here. It's getting moisture on it. It's ruined. I don't know what to say. This is awful. So I only carry $3,000 of insurance on each unit, because, not to be cheap, but because I didn't expect a flood. I only expected somebody to steal out of the unit and not fire damage or any flooding. So keep that in mind when you're buying a house or anything, renting anything or anything. You got to have insurance. You want to make sure you have adequate insurance. And my problem is right now I have to leave everything in the unit because of an insurance liability. If I pull anything out, then I don't have any liability on my insurance because I pulled it out of the unit. Now I just have to sit here and watch everything get ruined. So, kind of frustrating, but I don't know. I mean, I picked some stuff up. I picked this amp up. I picked up the lathe. I picked up a couple other boxes, but they already got like water on them. Like, I don't have. And there's condensation in here. There's moisture. And once I close this door, it has a pan of water in here. I'm screwed. It's a nightmare. It's probably the worst thing that could happen. Almost better leaving it up in my house. So, yeah, I took tomorrow off. That's 400 lost. And then I got to pull everything out of both units. I got to pull everything out of these units tomorrow. That's my mission. And everything needs to go back into my house. Oh my God. It's a nightmare. Well, I just wanted to log a little bit of that because I keep it real, you know. That stuff can happen, and we'll push on through it. Lucky I have the $3,000 in the van. I have more inventory at home. It's not the greatest. These totes back here are probably pretty good. There's not too much of a claim in here, maybe 1,000 or 2, but this unit's totally ruined, and I don't know what to do, you know? I don't know what to do. I mean, I mean, even this fishing rod, like, it got water on the bottom of it. I want them to pay for it. I mean, I mean, my wax on. I mean, that's gonna get rusty now later. Like, I I want them to pay for that. You know, I built like all this unit. Like I gotta take all this shelving down now. You freaking serious? I gotta take everything apart. Everything needs to come out. Everything needs to get taken apart, and we need to reevaluate the whole thing. And it's not good. It's probably the worst, worst thing that could have happened. Um, he said that water is worse than a fire, but I mean, at least some of it's salvageable. Fire would be just be gone, but and then there would be no insurance claim because I would have no proof of anything that was in there. So I'm waiting for somebody to come down here. Supposedly somebody's on their way, but I don't know. All right, that's my video. I'm sticking to it. Oh my God. What's going on, Go Video? All right, we're back at storage, and we are just about done moving some of it. Here you go. I don't know what you can see. So this one has a double door, and this is a car unit, or whatever you want to call it. And this is maybe the only dry unit that they have available. So I don't have any place to put anything, so I have to put everything in here. So here's all the inventory that did not get damaged, all right? Maybe like a tiny bit of, tiny bit. But nothing, none of the stuff I took, put any claimant on. And some of the stuff is from this weekend that I bought. Pretty cool brass Pegasus. A couple lanterns, records, all kinds of stuff. Here's the other lot of cars. Okay. It's a bunch of priced items. Everything needs to get crunched. Nothing has really been looked up. This is a pretty cool birdhouse. Check that out. That's nice. Yeah, tons of stuff. We get a Wii. We get a scuba thing. A scuba floor washing robot. That does 150. And there's a bunch of other stuff. I didn't pay much for some of these lots too. I paid $750 for the first lot on Saturday, and $350 for the second lot on the next day. And that robot, and there's something else in here in this random pile. I think it's underneath the paper. That does 150. So should be able to get my money back. Here's some Star Trek DVDs that crush it online, and I have a lot of other DVDs, like big ass box sets like this that are all in Japan, or Japanese, you want to call it. Yeah, so some good items. There's some glasswares we got. It's nice. Some other pieces that are like this in the lot. I was just making piles, stack it up and figure it out later. I wasn't even unwrapping anything. But yeah, some nice lots for sure. There's PS1 games, which were kind of cool. Master, Star Wars, Tomb Raider, the Jet Moto, Cyber Tiger, interactive CD, Total Eclipse Turbo, Spyro, Twisted Metal 2, obviously a Gran Turismo, and Asteroids. Not bad. Not bad in games. That was out of the $700 buy. So yeah, a couple $100 back on with that stuff there. And this the $700 buy, there was 2 huge totes of CDs, ended up equaling in 2 huge totes of DVDs, and I just kind of packed everything away. Everything's just, this is just kind of all the stuff that's dry and didn't get damaged. So let's walk over here. It's another saw that I bought on a Saturday. So let's go over here and just assess a little more damage, because it's some decent lighting out. So there is still water in the unit. So there's still water in the unit, as you can see. And I don't really have any room assessed in the unit for these seats yet. So, I mean, you can see where the water kind of starts and it stays back here in the back. So this unit's junk. These van seats are like soaking up the moisture and gonna get real stinky. And when you go into these other units on this side, they smell awful. So this is one of the totes that got ruined. This is 50 clamps. 50 Bessie clamps. Got some, gonna end up with some rust on these in time, on these threads and stuff. So I need them to make the decision so that, you know, we can figure out the ones that got wet. This one got wet. There's some brass in here that got discolored, as you can see. Some other stuff that got wet in here. There's I'll show you why it got wet. So these are on the bottom and they have a perforated tote, so they just soaked it up. Those two for sure. Throw away that box of bubble wrap. This rug's been compromised. There's some rust on the bottom ends of this desk here. The PS2 games I had underneath this seat, and the bottom got all junk, so I had to like take them all out of the box. This box of CDs, I gotta pull that out tomorrow. Those are all junk. And there's a couple other totes that I this one here. This one got wet. As you can see, there's some like fresh oxidation on that. Anytime you see that kind of rust like that, that means it just happened. So there's other stuff that has it on there. Starting to rust a little. That one's okay. But this whole thing is saturated. Almost should like dump it out. A little rust on it. This got like, this is like got wet, you know? Got the clamp that got all rusty. Everything got water on it. Alright, so learning process through that whole thing, you know, you want to understand your liabilities, and you want to prepare for, you know, things like that. So whatever you saw through the video, let it just be a learning process through your own system, and implement it so that you can, you know, so that it works for you, and that you're covered with your liability and things like that. If I had it in my house and I had the flood, it'd be a little bit easier for my homeowner's insurance, and since I log a lot of the video at home, it would have been a lot easier to say what is actually in the house. But just because I did this transition into the storage unit, not a lot of video and footage or whatever is logged in that storage unit, so gray area of what's in there. And yeah, it's kind of hard to pull receipts for you know, you buy 100 or 200 items for $500. It's kind of hard to say, you know, what are you gonna say? You know, you lost $2. Is that what you're gonna say? You know, so in the end, it'll be a write-off. I'm gonna just write it all off as a loss through the business. It's all logged that I had a flood, and I'm just gonna log everything that got damaged and log everything that I paid for it, and in the end, just write it off as lost goods. And that's all I can really do, you know, and that's the only way to catch up on the actual loss, because the insurance isn't really gonna cover all of what they should. And yeah, each unit only carries $1,000 of liability with a $100 deductible on each unit. So if I log everything, I'm at $1,800 regardless. If there was $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 worth of loss, it wouldn't matter. So I don't know, let that be some kind of little lesson to I don't know, invest in the totes. That's good that the totes protected a lot of the goods. And elevate your stuff, you know. I guess if you had a flood, you know, you could, if you had it elevated 4 inches, everything, then you would at least have a little time to react. So add a couple more clips through the way, and that's about it. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming, thanks for everyone being supportive through the whole process of just, you know, being there for me. Thanks Steve and Laura for helping me out. Oh, I thought the video kind of went out. So yeah, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, thanks for being supportive, and thanks everybody for helping in every way. Thanks Steve for coming down, Laura, and wife being supportive through it all, and letting me do what I do. And yeah, we'll push on. No big worries. And thanks Chris for, you know, all those lots this weekend. That's going to help me out later on through the months to make a faster recovery. And yeah, so peace, later.